first time, scientists have found that breast cancer patients who don't have enough vitamin D in their bodies are much more likely to have their cancer spread and to die from the disease. Here's John McKenzie.
For millions of women, this study raises an exciting possibility that vitamin D, a basic nutrient, a pill that costs just pennies a day, might have a profound impact on their breast cancer.
The study is significant because it tells us this may be one thing that women can do to improve their prognosis.
Researchers following more than 500 women with breast cancer found that women deficient in vitamin D were 94% more likely to have their cancer spread and 73% more likely to die from their cancer.
Vitamin D is pretty unique in its actions in that it does enter the cancer cells and induce them to undergo the cell death process.
This is a cluster of human breast cancer cells. Now add vitamin D, and those cancer cells start to shrivel up and die.
The effects of vitamin D on breast cancer cells are very similar to the effects of the established drug tamoxifen.
Vitamin D has also been linked to a lower risk of developing cancer. Not only breast cancer, but colon and prostate cancers as well. The problem is, many people are not getting enough vitamin D. In this latest study, 76% of the breast cancer patients had inadequate levels. A simple blood test can determine whether someone is vitamin D deficient, and by how much. That's what happened to Dr. Ann McTiernan. A researcher in breast cancer prevention, McTiernan exercises daily, eats nutritiously, and recently discovered that she too had severely low levels of this vitamin.
I was very surprised at how low my vitamin D levels were. I thought I was doing everything right.
Now, with daily vitamin D supplements, she just might be. John McKenzie, ABC News, New York.
And now the new study linking vitamin D and cancer in a way we've never heard before. Doctors know that low levels of the vitamin can lead to a host of illnesses, but now research suggests that vitamin D might actually hold the key to fighting cancer. John McKenzie has a story.
The studies just keep coming, the evidence mounting. Low levels of vitamin D are now linked to so many illnesses, from breast, colon, and prostate cancers, type 1 diabetes and asthma, to multiple sclerosis and heart disease.
I even think of vitamin D as the fountain of youth, if you will, in that it allows us to age well.
At least that's the hope. And nowhere is the evidence more compelling than here in the laboratory. So all the work here is on vitamin D?
Yes, we've got
Professor Joellen Welsh has spent the last 25 years studying the powerful effect of vitamin D on cells.
These are human breast cancer cells growing in the flask.
Taken from a woman who had breast cancer.
Yes.
Now watch what happens when you add a potent form of vitamin D. Within just 4 days, half those cancer cells are dead. It looks like the cancer cells have basically shriveled up and died.
The longer they're treated with vitamin D, the more of an effect we see. What happens is that vitamin D enters the cells and it triggers this cell death process. It's similar to what we see when we treat cells with tamoxifen.
A drug used to treat breast cancer?
Yes.
That's amazing.
It is amazing. It's a very dramatic effect.
That was just the beginning. Researchers here then took human breast cancer cells and injected them into mice. Tumors quickly began to grow, but when the mice were treated with vitamin D, the tumors began to shrink. Look, this one was reduced to half its size. The one here disappeared entirely. Similar results have been seen on colon and prostate tumors in mice. The real test, however, remains. Will vitamin D work this way in people? Other lab work is revealing how vitamin D can actually improve the way cells function in the heart and in blood vessels.
And the number one killer is vascular disease, and vitamin D makes our arteries more healthy, basically, allows them to age well.
Preliminary, tantalizing research on a common nutrient with so much potential. For Good Morning America, John McKenzie, ABC News, Albany, New York.